Hi, my name is Narla Basmati.
I'm Mohammed Hussein.
My name is Hassan Dash.
Hi, my name is Zara Islam.
My name is Kareem Al-Limrawi. Hey bro, what do you think of this shirt? I want to buy it.
No, the news is coming on.
Hey guys, listen.
Experts are now suggesting that constant stimulation from social media, eating processed foods, and shopping may be overstimulating the brain's dopamine system. Many are turning to what's called a dopamine detox, a method that claims to reset the brain by eliminating these stimuli. Advocates are now saying that this can help improve mental clarity, focus, and overall motivation.
That actually makes sense, guys.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So what do you think triggers these impulsive shopping habits?
I don't know. Buying things just makes me feel good for a while.
Okay, and how do you feel afterwards?
Like, usually guilty.
Cognitive behavioral therapy can help identify those reward-seeking habits and behavioral patterns, so you should try considering them.
Yeah. I think I just need to stop chasing this dopamine feeling.
Dopamine itself isn't the issue here. Your brain needs dopamine. It's about recognizing patterns that keep you chasing those quick rewards and replacing them with healthier habits. Anyways, we can continue talking about this next week.
This is the last thing I'm buying. Hey, this is actually nice. It was on sale anyway, so technically I saved money. New Balance, yeah, maybe one more. Let me check my wallet. I spent all my money? Didn't my therapist just tell me about impulsive behavior?
One more video. Okay, last one. Can't even focus anymore. Check this thing without even thinking. Like my brain automatically reaches for it. And the worst part is, I know I'm wasting time. Maybe I do need a reset. No phone, no distractions, dopamine detox. All the shops are closed. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, sweets. I want to have some. There's so many donuts. Pastries. I don't mind taking some. If sugar spikes dopamine, and dopamine is basically my brain's reward signal, I've probably been overloading my brain. I need to reset it.
I've actually been thinking about this dopamine detox trend a lot lately because modern life can feel constantly overstimulating. Scrolling without thinking, checking notifications every few minutes, always feeling drawn towards the next thing, competing for our attention. And after a while, it stops feeling like a choice. It just becomes part of the background. So when people online started saying we were overloading our dopamine systems, I understood why the idea resonated with so many people. It offers a simple explanation for a very familiar experience. But the more I looked into neuroscience, the more I started questioning whether the explanation was actually that simple. Because feeling overstimulated and understanding what is happening biologically are not necessarily the same thing. This popularized scientific concept may just be an exaggerated statement, so important details can sometimes get lost. So before accepting the idea that dopamine can be detoxed, what does the evidence actually say?
A 2024 peer-reviewed study published in Frontiers of Human Neuroscience explored the effect of short-form video consumption on attention and cognitive control. So, 48 participants were assessed on the short-form video consumption using a validated questionnaire before they had their attention network test while undergoing EEG monitoring. Now, it was shown that those that were prone to short-form video addiction actually had decreased frontal theta brainwave activity and decreased self-control. Now, frontal theta activity is associated with attentional regulation, impulse control, cognitive functioning, and so this shows how the overstimulating digital behavior can have a negative impact on the brain executive control system and overall cognitive performance.
Before examining specific behaviors such as social media use, compulsive shopping habits, and eating highly stimulating food, it is first important to consider dopamine's broader role within the brain's reward system. A 2023 review published in Biomedicines explains how dopamine influences motivation, reinforcement learning, and behavioral adaptations within modern communities shaped by constant stimulation. The review explains that dopamine can help the brain reinforce behaviors associated with rewarding outcomes, helping explain why, why highly stimulating activities such as shopping, social media, and eating can gradually become habitual over time. Importantly, the author suggests that constant exposure to highly stimulating rewards may reinforce compulsive reward seeking behavior, helping explain why dopamine detoxes have become increasingly popular online.
A 2024 study published in Neuropharmacology by Witt et al. Examined dopamine D1 receptor in anticipatory phase, referring to the neural processes that are involved in expecting a reward rather than experiencing it. Now, the study focused on how dopamine signaling contributes to motivation, such as when the character was anticipating pleasure to consuming processed sweets. Now, dopamine, especially in D1 receptor pathways, they play a key role in identifying important stimuli, reinforcing behaviors, predicting rewards, having goal-oriented actions, and learning from past experiences. Now, the study also showed that dopamine activity is strongest during the anticipatory phase rather than during the reward. Now, these signals can get influenced by your past experiences or environmental cues, which shows that the brain can form expectations and they can adjust behaviors according to what it will predict will happen.
This concept is further supported by a 2018 peer-reviewed study published in the Current Addiction Reports, which explored behavioral neuroscience behind buying shopping disorder, a condition characterized by compulsive and impulsive buying habits that, despite the negative emotional and financial consequences. The review found that shopping activates dopamine-related reward pathways associated with anticipation, motivation, and reinforcement. Researchers explained how purchasing items can temporarily create feelings of excitement and satisfaction, reinforcing the repeated impulsive behaviors even after guilt or regret occurs. The article also highlighted how emotional states such as stress or boredom may strengthen compulsive shopping habits over time.
Together, these studies suggest that dopamine's role is primarily connected to
reward, anticipation, and behavioral reinforcement,
rather than the simplistic idea that dopamine itself is toxic and requires detoxification.
Having examined the available evidence, our verdict is that the claim dopamine detoxes resets the brain is only partially supported but scientifically inaccurate. What is justified within the claim is the observation that reduced exposure to highly stimulating events may improve focus, self-regulation, and perceived mental clarity. The 2024 EEG study supports this, demonstrating how individuals with higher exposure to short-form video addiction tendencies show reduced control and impaired attention and regulation. Similarly, the 2023 biomedicine study suggests that repeated exposure to highly stimulating modern reward environments reinforces the habitual reward-seeking behaviors over time. Together, these findings support the idea that behavioral moderation may produce cognitive benefits.
Neuropharmacology study 3, fundamentally challenges the claim's underlying logic. If dopamine is strongest during the reward anticipatory phase rather than the consumption, then dopamine itself cannot be meaningfully avoided by restrictive behavior. So, anticipation and goal-directed motivation are intrinsic components of human cognition, which makes the notion of fully dopamine detoxing as biologically implausible.
Moving on to the 2018 Global Addiction Report review on compulsive shopping, which reinforces that dopamine's role lies on behavior reinforcement and motivation, rather than toxicity and depletion.
The trend likely became popular because people saw certain improvements in aspects of self-control and focus, but may have wrongfully attributed these improvements to a scientifically inaccurate explanation of dopamine.
So, a more scientifically accurate conclusion is that so-called dopamine detox can help individuals reduce the cognitive overstimulation and interrupt the maladaptive reward-seeking behaviors. But it does not literally reset dopamine or the brain itself.